Friend, I think what it's time for you to do is to turn your back and maybe take your shirt off. Make a nice flat area where the Republican Party leadership can take the knife that they're about to stab into our backs. I'm Randall Terry. This is Voice of Resistance.
Those who forsake the law praise the wicked. Those who uphold the law resist them. Welcome to the Voice of Resistance. Here's your host, Randall Terry.
This is one of those days where we have like a flashpoint where we can see reality in really clear terms. And we can see the arrogance matched with the stupidity of, ready, the wealthy. Now before, give respect to whom respect is due. Give honor to whom honor is due. That's what the Bible says. And so therefore, a certain level of respect should be given to someone like, say, Mitt Romney. He's a multi-billionaire. Donald Trump, certain level of respect, multi-billionaire. Heck, the Clintons, for that matter, hundreds of millions of dollars. They've parlayed their political experience into some serious, on-the-table bribery. Give respect to whom respect is due. Give the devil his due. That's not in the Bible. Anyway, so I want to couch my terms just that much. Just that much. The Republican voter base has shown very clearly in this election cycle that we have had it. We've had it. We've had it with Karl Rove. We've had it with John Boehner, by John. We've had it with Mitch McConnell. He's the next to go. He needs to have his political head put on the political chopping block. Let him go into the retirement he so richly deserves. We've had it with false promises, with cowardly non-leaders. We've had it. And so nearly 60% of the Republicans that are paying attention, and that's a lot of them, are ready to vote for Donald Trump or Ben Carson. I mean, first of all, the polar opposites of these men on so many levels is almost comical. All right, you could actually do a comic book based upon these two. And they could, like the odd couple. So here they are. You've got the political odd couple, Trump and Carson, who are swallowing up almost 60% of the vote. And all of the asinine predictions from Bush's people and from Politico. Trump's time is done. Carson hasn't got a chance. Blah, blah, blah. They're just wrong. Oh, look, it's less than 3 months away from the Iowa caucus, and Trump is still leading in all the polls. And the Republican establishment, terrified that Bush has imploded into single digits, sometimes low single digits, they know he's going to have to pull out. So what are they thinking about doing? Drafting Mitt Romney. Yes, in case you haven't heard, the Republican establishment, behind closed doors, making frantic phone calls, they're considering, or not considering, they're talking amongst themselves about begging Mitt Romney to get in the race. Now, what they're saying is, we can't afford to lose another election. If Trump or Carson gets the nomination, we're afraid of what it will do up and down the ticket with Republican governors and congressional races and blah, blah, blah. What a lie. What a lie. In 2012, Romney got his head handed to him. And yet, the Republicans took the House. So we see very clearly that people are prepared to do a split ticket or to ignore someone on the ballot. They're lying to us. We see that the Republican governors did better in 2012 and in 2014. So what this is really about, and neither the Washington Post nor Politico thus far has the integrity to say the truth. What this is about is them being represented by the moneyed class. Okay? Mitt Romney talks their language. And I submit to you that some of the Republican moneyed class would rather have Hillary Clinton as president than Donald Trump. or even Ben Carson for that matter. But for sure Donald Trump. Because Hillary, that's somebody we can work with. Hillary understands how the game is played. Ben Carson, he's new, he may work out, he may not, but Trump, don't trust him. He's a wild animal. He thinks he's this great stallion. He won't listen to anybody. Bring Romney back. Can we please talk with Mr. Romney? That's what's going on. The moneyed class wants to be represented. They don't give a rat's behind about what the 60% of the voting populace wants. They think we're too stupid. They think that our values don't matter. They think that our disgust with the Republican Party machinery is irrelevant to the equation. They want to coronate someone. Bring us Emperor Romney. The problem is the emperor has no clothes. Thanks to friends like you, we have state-of-the-art cameras and state-of-the-art teleprompters and state-of-the-art gear here in the studio. We have one big need, however. We have not yet been able to upgrade our computers. The computers that we use for a television broadcast or to create a documentary are not like the kind that you can just go buy at Best Buy. They are expensive because it takes so much horsepower to create TV series and or documentaries. So I'm asking you, if you want to see this show grow and you want to see us finish the What Would Muhammad Do series, help us get these computers. 3 computers that we need right now are going to be just shy of $20,000. That's the kind of horsepower that we need. Go to the GoFundMe page you see right there. Watch the pilot for What Would Muhammad Do? And if you like the show, give us a gift. The wall will be built. That's what Donald Trump said. And as you probably know by now, he referenced President Eisenhower, who deported, with his efforts, more than 1 million, by some estimates up to 3 million people were deported. But here is the point, again, for every one that President Eisenhower deported, 10 self-deported. And that just means that they saw, look, my cousin, yo tengo un abuelo, él está en el bus y yo no quiero estar con él. I don't want to be with him. So he's, and I'm not trying to be unkind. I'm not mocking, by the way. But the reality is, all right, so let's say I'm in Mexico and I see my friends getting hauled to the north on a bus in handcuffs. I've traveled on buses in handcuffs, okay? Because of my pro-life work. And if I'm in Mexico City and I see my friends getting deported, I'm going to say, whoa, 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 I want nothing to do with this. Please, somebody buy me an airplane ticket. Somebody put me on a Greyhound. I'll hitchhike. Hey, let's all carpool and go down to Avis and let's just get out of here quick. Okay? So there, they can mock me with their accent down in Mexico. If Mr. Trump gets elected and really starts doing it, there's going to be people hitting the road. And guess what? The Republican leadership, a lot of them don't want that. Why is it that Kasich and Bush are, oh, you can't do that? No, really we can, and it's happened before. Why do they not want it? Because so much of our economic structure now is based upon inexpensive labor, and they've bought houses. All right, at various points when the oversight of banks has been a little on the iffy side, there have been some significant loans made to people who own homes, okay? So the banks are going, whoa, 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 you start deporting these people and their houses are sitting empty, then what? They're going to sell their house and it's going to cause a dip in the real estate market. We've got literally millions of illegal immigrants who are renting apartments. Some of these apartments are very nice. Some of these homes that they're renting are very nice. Suddenly these homes and apartments, they're going to be for rent, and there's going to be a glut of them, and it's going to drive the value of rentals down, drive the value of real estate down. And some of those big business people that are part of the Chamber of Commerce who want these illegal immigrants to get amnesty, they're not going to have cheap Mexican labor to wash their dishes in their fancy restaurants. All right? or to do their yard work. And by the way, I'm not being unkind. There have been some people, I used to work at McDonald's and I used to do yard work, okay? It's an honorable way to get started and move up the ladder of success. But that's the exact thing, is that so much of what's going on, you've got to have people to work at McDonald's. You have to have people to, or wherever, and I'm sure that McDonald's does a better job of vetting people to make sure they have a social security number. By the way, I've got about 5 social security numbers. I bought them on the black market. You can just go buy them. There's people that literally just do the work for you, make sure that it's either a valid number of somebody who's dead or that's just a made-up number. Just got to buy them. I've got 5. Want to see them? I'm joking. But they do that. So a lot of the illegals that are here, they don't have a valid social security number, but they have one that's good enough to get them hired. Okay? So the moneyed class that does not want Trump or Carson or Ted Cruz for that matter, they are frantic, so frantic that they are openly and secretly talking about Mitt Romney. Now there's a pillar of strength. There's a guy who inspires enthusiasm. There's a man who I can trust. He used to pay for babies to be killed. In fact, you can still kill your baby in Massachusetts with a $50 copay because of Mitt Romney. The snowball for homosexual marriage was in part because of Mitt Romney. So do you really think that people who are Republican Party activists and the base of the party, do you think that they're going to tolerate this? What these elite are doing is ensuring that we will turn on them like rabid dogs. Nah, that's a bad illustration. They're the rabid dogs. We're going to turn on them like the dog catchers. And we don't care if they've got a collar that's got tons of jewels and diamonds all over it. They might want Emperor Romney, but not only is he naked, he's already lost twice. Hello? Christians must be involved in government, period. If Christians weren't involved in government, we would not have a United States of America. And there have been brilliant Christian minds over the centuries, such as John Locke, who is called the philosopher of American liberty. He was quoted by Clarence Thomas in his recent dissent on the homosexual marriage decision. If we don't understand John Locke, we don't understand the founding of America. I want to send you this book and my book, The Sword, subtitled The Blessing of Righteous Government and The Overthrow of Tyrants. I want to send you these 2 books for a gift of whatever you can afford. Pay the $8 shipping and handling, which does not cover our costs, and then give a gift of whatever size you want, and we'll send you these books. If you cannot afford anything but the $8, can't even afford that, write us a note, and we'll send them to you for free. I want you to have these books so that you can be better equipped to fight in the political arena. Come on, order them today. I'm going to switch gears away from the Republican machinery for a minute, and this is one of those child alerts. So if you've got small children in the room, you need to encourage them to leave. I want to talk to you for a minute about ISIS. If you want to, if you're the type of person that digs and does research, you can look up Amnesty International. There was a huge New York Times article. I want to read to you the title of it. The title of it was ISIS Enshrines a Theology of Rape. And I would give the New York Times a C or a C minus. It wasn't a failing grade because at least, I think one time or twice maybe, they referred to the prophet or referred to Muhammad. And they did not connect the dot, but almost threw a pebble, to explain that this is an ancient Islamic theology. But then they allowed people to have cover. I'm sure I can see the editors in New York City going, we are not printing this story unless you have 10 Muslims say, oh no, that's not who we are. Anyway. It's a horrifying story. And as you may know, we are in the middle of recording a very in-depth, very paced and scholarly look at the connection between Muhammad and ISIS, okay? So when we ask the question, what would Muhammad do, lone wolves, Muslim terrorists, and Islam explain to the West, it's a focus on the life of Muhammad and his immediate companions, what they did, and how Islamic terrorists simply try to mimic it, okay? I'm going to read to you a couple of hadith, just so you understand it. And by the way, these are what are called sacred hadith. Hadith are the record of the words and deeds of Muhammad, all right? The things that he did, things that he said, the things that he allowed to happen in his presence, the things he disapproved of. The record of it is called the hadith. All right? The deeds themselves, the example he set, is called the sunnah. So, they're called also the traditions of the prophet. I want to read to you. Look at the words yourself, right? This one. Allah's messenger sent an army to Autus and encountered the enemy and fought with them. Having overcome them and taken them captives, the companions of Allah's messenger seemed to refrain from having intercourse with captive women because of their husbands being polytheists. Then Allah, Most High, sent down regarding that, and these women are forbidden to you, women already married, except those who your right hands possess. So they were lawful for them when their period came to an end. Now, because of how difficultly this is translated, let me explain to you in case you don't grasp what this means. First of all, they just conquered a town, and their husbands were still alive, all right? The women that they had captured. And the normal operating procedure was to just start to rape all the women. But the text says some of the men seem to refrain and say, oh, this is a thorny theological question. Their husbands aren't dead, they're alive, they're right here, and they're polytheists. So they're alive and they're polytheists. Can we have sex with their wives? Well, what Sharia law says is that when a non-believing woman is taken captive, the minute she is taken as a prisoner, her marriage is annulled. It's over. And that's why Muhammad got a revelation that said, you cannot have sex with a married woman, i.e. a Muslim woman, you cannot have sex with a married woman except the ones that your right hand possesses. That is a phrase in Islamic history, jurisprudence, that means they're your slave, okay? You can read that for yourself anywhere, any Muslim site, any devout Muslim site will tell you that the phrase, what your right hand possesses, refers to your slaves. Let me read another one. We used to participate in the holy battles led by Allah's apostle, and we had no wives with us. So we asked him, shall we get ourselves castrated? He forbade us that, and then allowed us to marry women for a temporary contract, and recited to us, O you who believe, make not unlawful the good things which Allah has made lawful for you, but commit no transgression. So this is something that Muhammad later changed his mind on, but for a season during their battles, Muhammad said, you can take a woman who you've captured in war and you can marry her temporarily, okay? And you can have sex with her until such and such a date or until such and such a person returns. And then towards the end of his life, Muhammad stopped this practice. But in the meantime, this is what he did. This is their record, all right? This is their record. So when you see ISIS doing the things it is doing, capturing women, raping them, selling them as sex slaves, where do you think they got the idea from? How do you think that they think that this is good and righteous and holy? It's because it's what Muhammad did. Friend, this TV show represents a mission. It's to be a voice of resistance to the evil in the land, but also to inspire people like you to take a stand at any level that you might be able to equip you, to inspire you, to challenge you, to give you the rhetorical ammunition that you need. but we still have to pay bills. This program, as you know if you're a regular viewer, we don't spend a lot of time raising money. We don't spend a lot of time saying, oh, you need to buy this and we're going to... No, we're bringing you a message, but we still have bills that we need to pay. I'm asking you, if you have been blessed by this show, to please go to our website or send a check to the address you see on the screen or call the phone number that you see on the screen and use your credit card and to give $50 or $100 or $500 just to help us meet our normal expenses. And we'll keep bringing you this hard-hitting show. By the way, for those of you who question what I'm saying here, put it up on the screen, please. When a child or a woman is taken captive, they become slaves by the fact of capture, and the woman's previous marriage is immediately annulled. And that's from Reliance of the Traveler, and this is a classic manual of Islamic sacred law. What the person who wrote this did was compiled the 4 main schools of Islamic Sunni Sharia law and said, here's how it works. It's an incredible read. I have read a lot of it, and I say incredible. God forgive me for using a good adjective. It's an astonishing, alarming read, because they just go as it reads like U.S. Code 18 of the United States law, penal law, only it's Muslim. No flinching. When can you rape certain women? When can you kill people? How and when can you kill apostates? When a child or woman is taken captive, they become slaves by the fact of capture, and the woman's previous marriage is immediately annulled. And that is in Sharia law because of what Muhammad said. Women, it's not lawful for you to have sex with these women. At one point in the Quran, Muhammad said that the men were to guard their modesty. Okay, they were to guard their modesty except with their private parts, except with their wives and their female slaves, what your right hand possess. That's what it says. So I want to read to you another one of these passages. Again, for people who are afraid or who think these, don't be afraid. They honor this. They believe this. And for those who think this can't be true, this had to be a one-off. This was a one-off. Muhammad, he did it once, and then he thought, oh, what have I done? You know, I'm a prophet of God, or I believe in religion. I can't treat women like this. No. After the Battle of Badr forward, this was Muhammad's behavior towards women till the end of his life, okay? He gave sex slaves to his son-in-law, to Ali, to Umar, to Uthman. They were 3 of the 4 first caliphs, the men who succeeded him in power. When they captured all these people as booty of war, he literally said, here, would you like a girl? Let's read this one. During the battle of Bani al-Mustalik, they, the Muslims, captured some females and intended to have sexual relation with them without impregnating them. So they asked the Prophet about coitus interruptus. The Prophet said, it is better that you should not do it, for Allah has written down whom he is going to create till the day of resurrection. Gaza said, I also heard Abu Sa'id saying that the Prophet said, no soul is ordained to be created, but Allah will create it. Now, please note 2 similarities with these 2 different passages, different battles, all right? Muhammad's soldiers captured a town. They are now lining up the women, gathering the women to rape them. In one of the cases, they said, oh, can we rape the women who are married? So the revelation comes down and says, oh, it's fine because their marriage is annulled. Now this town, different place, they come to him and say, is it okay if we that we practice coitus interruptus? And because we don't want them to get pregnant. Muhammad said, well, it's better that you don't do it because if they're going to get pregnant, it's God's will. And please notice what Muhammad didn't say. Notice what he did not say. He did not say, don't rape these women. Are you insane? This is an evil act. No. He got revelations that it was a just act, a holy act. When you read the New York Times story, which again is a C-, you'll see why, and then read these passages, then you'll understand what ISIS is doing. They are living out the storyline of Muhammad because they think it pleases God. It doesn't please God. It is offensive to Almighty God. And there will be a day of reckoning.